Welcome to the Innovation Series, where I take you on a journey to build complex technology from scratch, step by step, from idea to reality. The main topic of this video is about a contract which consists of multiple requirement items. This is the second part of the contract. We will continue to complete the contract until all activities are converted into requirements. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've done so far before moving forward. We've created 4 requirements that were derived from 4 activities. We have created requirement 1 to requirement 4, or R1 to R4. They were derived from activity 1 to activity 4, or A1 to A4. We have learned that there is a relation between activities, and we have used the formula to integrate this relation into the requirements. We have learned that the relation can be an activity that occurs simultaneously with another activity labeled as formula FCR1, or an activity that occurs immediately after another activity finishes labeled as formula FCR2. We have learned how to use the formula FC1 to convert the operation activity into the requirement and the formula FC2 to convert the functional activity into the requirements. We are halfway through our journey. Let's continue until all activities are converted into requirements. The 5th activity, or A5, the user loads the projectile. The first few words read, "The user loads." From the first few words, it already implies that in this activity, the user or the entity perform an operation to the catapult, hence the activity 5 or A5 in an operational type. Because A5 is an operational type, then we use the formula FC1. Therefore, we convert it to, the catapult shall provide the user with the ability to load the projectile. Let's examine the requirement one more time. Is there a relation with the previous activity? At this level of complexity, we do not see the relation of activity 5 from the previous activity. This activity 5 is similar to activity 1, where the user initially performs the operation to complete the goal. The 6th activity, or A6, the catapult holds the projectile. We can know that this activity is a functional type because the subject is the catapult and it performs the action that is to hold. Because A6 is a functional type, then we use the formula FC2. Therefore, we convert it to, the catapult shall hold the projectile. Let's examine activity 6 with relation to activity 5. We want the catapult to hold the projectile as soon as the user loads the projectile into the catapult. Thus, besides the formula FC2, we need to apply formula FCR2 as well. The application of the formula FCR2 requires the addition of the phrase as soon as. By combining formulas FCR2 and FC2, the requirement becomes, as soon as the user loads the projectile, the catapult shall hold the projectile. The 7th activity, or A7, the user triggers the release. This activity is very similar to activity 5 or A5. This is another operational type. There is no direct relation with the other activity. Therefore, we can simply use formula FC1 to convert it into a requirement. The requirement 7 or R7 becomes, the catapult shall provide the user with the ability to trigger the release. The 8th activity, or A8, the catapult pushes the projectile. This would be the last activity that we will convert into a requirement. It is another functional type because the subject is the catapult performing an action. Application of formula FC2, we convert it into requirement, the catapult shall push the projectile. Now, if we want the catapult to push the projectile immediately after the user triggers the release, then the formula FCR2 applies. The application of the formula FCR2 requires the addition of the phrase as soon as. By combining formulas FCR2 and FC2, the requirement becomes, As soon as the user triggers the release, the catapult shall push the projectile. Congratulations! We've successfully completed our contract, consisting of 8 distinct requirements. We have derived the contract from the activities chain, and we have derived the activities chain from the primary concept. In this way, we maintain consistency from generic to specific concept. There is clear flow down from the generic idea that is the primary concept to the specific statement that is the contract requirement. This concludes my demonstration of creating a contract requirement. You've gained foundational knowledge in product realization, bringing us one step closer to a tangible, fully functioning product. After demonstration, it is good practice to apply the skill that you have learned in daily life. Previously, you had practice creating the primary concept and the activities chain of an oven. Why don't you derive the contract requirements from the activities chain that you have created? Use the steps I demonstrated earlier. There's no single correct answer. This is purely an exercise to practice creating a contract. Once you feel satisfied with your work, you can move on to the next lesson.